A and B, so that we can get some sort of crossfire going. In the meantime though, I know I have to do something at this point. I've done 89k damage, I've locked down A for our team, but we are down 4 ships and we don't have map control. I need to make something happen. So I start slowly pushing up, because I see, especially since a Friedrich Grosse is pushing around the corner. Friedrich Grosse has 406mm guns, or 420. This means when you yourself in the Des Moines or Salem has 27mm armor, maneuver. You hope that by changing courses to a full pitching, but you can't be sure, and you basically put all your eggs in the luck basket and you hope for the best. If you maintain your speed, you can actively maneuver and you can actively dodge, as I did there. So I never stopped reversing when he popped around the corner. Even though it made my movement fairly predictable, I still maintained enough speed that I could actively dodge any of the torpedoes. So keep that in mind. Sometimes stopping is not a bad, reversing course isn't a bad decision. But, hello Ibuki. I saw the Ibuki turning on my minimap, so I switched from farming the Friedrich to quickly farming the Ibuki. USAP, as I mentioned, monstrously powerful, and this guy had what, 20k, 90k health. It only takes me 2 volleys to completely delete him, and once he's deleted, I move back to working on this Friedrich de Grosse, who has in between, it looks like, damage gun, so I should be able to finish him off quite easily. In this case, I'm of course able to use my teammate's smokes. Not that in this case the smoke not having the smoke would have too big of an impact, because even if he shot me from that range, he would need a lot of good luck for the Friedrich de Grosse to be able to kill me before I killed him. I would, however, take more damage than I wanted. This series of kills has given us a significant advantage. Once again, we saw that there were both Minotaurs and DDs here, so I'm staying constantly angled, and because I'm constantly angled, I don't have too many issues dodging the incoming torpedoes. Minotaur turns away, and I stick with AP, hoping he will give me enough broadside. Here's of course an example of the penetration angles that you can achieve in a Des Moines. This is something you will probably get mostly bounces in pretty much any other cruiser in this situation, but the Des Moines can still pretty consistently pen the Minotaur. I am getting a fair amount of bounces though, but I want to keep the steady DPM up. I could probably switch to HE and maybe get some fires, but since he's stuck, I'm gonna see which way he moves before I decide to switch ammo type. And since he's angling away and it seems like the shipwreck has sunk, I switch to HE to finish him off. He doesn't pop any heal, which is what I expected, so I don't really need to burn him down any more than this. AP would probably kill him just as well. Now though, we're still down points. We're down to 5 versus 4, we're still down points because of course the enemy has full capture control. However, since I've cleared my left flank, I have the great option of start pushing. I did mention that the Des Moines in the open isn't a very good thing, but if you get angles like this one, it's worth pushing out. I of course use AP. I mentioned American AP is monstrously strong, and especially if you get broadsides, it doesn't matter if you're a battleship or cruiser or whatever. If you get broadsides, the way you can punish them with AP is absolutely devastating, and this Missouri finds out. You noted, by the way, that as I came around the corner, I zoomed in and looked over the mountain to see which ways his guns were pointing. And that's very important because I wanted to be able to push full broadside all as deep as possible to get as flat of a broadside as possible, and only when he turned his guns and shot did I angle in, and I bounced his shells, most of the shells on my belt, and I really took almost no damage. Here we have another fairly flat broadside. AP would be perfectly fine against battleship giving this much broadside. However, at these ranges, and by habit, I tend to use HE if a battleship has a lot of health. If it's a high tier battleship with a lot of health, I tend to use HE simply because I want to get those fires burning. Fires are percentage based, which means of course that the bigger base health pool you have, the more damage they will deal. It does take longer for a fire to take than it takes for raw AP to kill someone though, so that's why I only really use it if it's a very healthy battleship, like in this case. He instantly damaged on the first fire, so I want 2 fires on him before I switch to AP, because 2 fires ticking is a lot of damage. Someone else starts a fire, so I switch to AP. I have the 2 fires I want, even if they're not mine. One is from I think the Roma or the Rune, It doesn't matter. I have 2 fires steadily ticking, so that means no matter what type of angling and dodging this guy does at this point, he's losing a lot of health because of the double fire permanently burning on him. But the raw damage of AP is of course significantly better. As you can see, I have absolutely no issues penning him and just annihilating him. And now this is of course not something, you shouldn't look at this and go, wow, this is such a great ship, this Salem. This is exactly what the Des Moines can do. And this is why I'm using it as a Des Moines example. These are all things that you do in a